Good morning. What is up? Happy September morning day out there. Is it really happy though? That's the real question. For the most part, yeah, it's happy. We're all alive, we're breathing, we're kicking. There hasn't been world government takeover quite yet. Let the Dems get into office and then you'll see that happen to us. Just gonna throw that out there real quick. But more than that, what I'd like to say is I'm scrolling through my news feed and all I see on a regular basis is these beautiful, wonderful, amazing mothers, my sisters, my cousins, my friends, all included. They are so at wit's end with this virtual learning BS. And you've got the system of Green Bay telling you this is how it's going to be because what, teachers don't want to show up to school? Is that what's happening here? But we can send them all to daycares. We can put all of the kids together in the same place. They can go to the Boys and Girls Club in the same place. All of the alternatives to school can happen, but school can't actually happen. But then on top of that, they're not going to correct the process. They're not going to help the kids when they're struggling. My niece is hard of hearing. She is legally hard of hearing. She wears hearing buds in her ears. Since day one, she has had nothing but trouble. Now, apart from my niece, who has issues with the situation, there's moms who have children who don't have any type of learning hindrance in their lives, and they are having just as much trouble. We're being told that there's stuff online that you can access. It's not there. And then the teachers are getting mad at the moms and saying, oh, well, it should have been your issue. There were 20,000 kids who could not get on virtual learning on the first day, but yet my sister calls and says we're having an issue and gets a returned email that says we didn't have any issues, and then the news goes on to say that 20,000 kids couldn't get on that day. I don't know if you understand how the internet works, but the internet is like a cake, right? Let's say there's 30 people at your party, but you bought enough cake for 8 people. So if the 8 people eat the cake, now you have 12 people that have no access to cake. That's exactly how the internet works. You have a bandwidth. It's this big. One person takes up this much. 2 people take up this much. 4 people take up this much. Eventually, all the bandwidth is taken up. And what happens is when you're streaming or you're pulling information from the internet, like videos, it takes up more bandwidth. So if 20,000 kids need to watch a video at the exact same time because they're on a regimented school schedule online, everybody's getting kicked off. It does not matter how much work you do to keep the kid on. Parents, this is not your fault, and that's what you need to understand. What's happening with the school system right now is not your fault, and you shouldn't even have to be doing it. And if you are going to continue to do it, I would 100% demand your property taxes back if you own your home. 100% go to your landlords and tell them you want them to demand their property taxes back so you could have partial of your rent back, because now that's even bare minimum of the compensation that you need as a parent to sacrifice your work schedule, to sacrifice your time and energy in general. This whole thing is BS. And the only reason you don't hear much about me from this situation is because I am a parent of grown kids who are no longer in the school system. I will tell you, before the school year started, I did write a very long-winded email to the city of Green Bay and tell them that they need to open school, tell them that they need to give kids this chance to regain some kind of consistency in their lives. You're robbing our kids of their education. In all honesty, in some things, kids shouldn't be educated anyway. Should we be teaching racism anymore in schools? No. Should we be teaching the history of all the bullshit of Christopher Columbus and everything that's gone on the way that it's been taught? No. We should be teaching the truth. They should learn the actual history of where we've come from so there can be some appreciation in the growth that we've had throughout the years. But do I believe in the curriculum of schools? Not necessarily. With the access to Google and the access to information that we have, you remember when you were a kid and the teacher's like, you're going to have a calculator in your hand every time you need one? Boop. Yep, actually I do. Probably the most sophisticated calculator you ever seen in your life, teach. Because if I don't know the answer, I could just Google it. So the day Google falls off the earth is the day maybe we should go back to the old school curriculum. But instead of trying to make math even harder for kids to the point that parents don't even understand it, I couldn't solve a 4th grade math problem right now to save my damn life. And that's just facts. But point of what I'm saying is, I don't know what's going on in the Green Bay system, and I don't know why anybody's putting up with it. Green Bay, Appleton, any large cities surrounding us that have decided to not start school, it pisses me off that they're going to do it with masks, but if that's the sacrifice you want to make to put your kid in school, that is what it is. In my humble opinion, what I think you parents should be doing, and exactly what I would be doing if my kids were in school, I would be starting a damn brigade. I would be starting a protest. I would be starting a standoff. Come together, collaborate. Find the other moms on your news feeds who are not okay with it. Find your parenting email letters. Find the school email letters that have been going out. Figure out a way to connect to the other parents and take back the system. Stop letting 5 people tell you what to do. You guys are okay with all the BLM protests? You guys are okay with all the protests for fucking sex trafficking? That's exactly what we should be doing. Sorry for my language. I get a little heated about this kind of stuff sometimes, but especially that kind of stuff really gets me going. But here we go. I'm telling you, collaborate, come together, reach out to other moms. Stop virtual learning. Just give up. Just don't do it anymore. Get 30, 40, 50 other moms to do it with you, because at this point there's probably 30, 40, 50 other moms who are ready to do it. Find ones from other school districts. Connect. We have this time in our history, we have more ability to connect and collaborate with one another than we ever have. We do not have to go out and burn things to protest. All we have to do is click a couple of buttons, create a group message, and get everybody else on board. Find your school news feed. Find all the parents connected on that. Everybody start posting on that. Make a stand, people. Do something differently. Go to the news station. Start creating awareness. I got a lot of things on my plate that I'm dealing with myself. Otherwise, I would jump in and do it for you. But what I'm telling you is that you have every ability to make a stand on this. You have an ability to make a stand on masks. You can say, my kid's not going to school without a mask. I've got 3 friends off the top of my head that I can tell you that their kids are in school right now, one even a private school, and they're not wearing masks. All you have to do is say, I'm not doing it, and you don't have to do it. Threaten with a lawyer. Guess what? They're going to listen to you. Then stop going to the virtual learning. Protest the virtual learning. We're not going. We're not doing it. Teachers, you don't want to go to school? You don't want to go to work? Wear a hazmat outfit. How about you take all the kids, put them in the school, and why don't you leave the teachers at home? And the teachers can teach remotely from home, if that's the fear, and the kids can be in school. Because then the teachers are away from whatever it is they're scared of, the BS coronavirus, and the kids can be together having the healthy interaction that they're supposed to be having. And then you have only minimal streams going one way instead of trying to send a stream to everybody. If you have one stream going into the school, and then you use the school's internet and their broadband within the school and their wired systems on a fiberglass cable, now you have no breakout anymore. I don't know why everybody is just allowing this to happen and why you're just complaining about it. I love you moms, I love you all, but I'm telling you, you have the ability to make a change. You have the ability to make a stand. Your Facebook post isn't going to go anywhere. But if you start making a Facebook news feed, if you start making a Facebook whole entire page, boycott Green Bay school system, boycott Appleton school system, boycott whatever school system has decided not to close, and then you go with it, you're going to make a change. That's how we make a change in the world that we live in. We stand up for what we believe in. I'm not wearing a mask. Haven't been wearing a mask. You might have saw my not wearing a mask in Menards video. It's not the easiest thing to do. I was terrified of not wearing a mask in Menards, of getting kicked out, of not being able to buy the stuff that I needed to buy. Turns out, my little sister, one of my very close friends, been cruising in Menards this entire time without a mask on. Little did I know. Wish I would have known. Wish I would have been a little bit braver a little bit sooner. So I wouldn't have been inhaling a bunch of carbon dioxide toxins into my lungs every time I went to Menards for the last 4 months. But on that note, all I gotta say is sorry for the long-winded video this morning. Get yourselves out there, go make a difference. Do something different today. Make a change. Stand up for what you believe in. Use your access to your tools, to your internet, to your technology to do something different today. Stop putting up with it. Collab, co-create, get together. Let's do it. Let's take our school system back. We own our school system. Sure, Private businesses own their private businesses. We own the school system. They sent out tons of surveys before the school system started. Do you want your child to come to school? Do you know that 90% of those surveys said yes? And they still didn't put the kids in school? Why did they ask what the hell you want if they're not gonna listen to you? That's what I really want to know. That's for you to figure out. I got enough on my plate. I can't fix everything for you guys, but I'm gonna need you to get out there and do something different today if you want it done differently, because all the moms, they feel the same as you. I've been watching my news feed. I got at least 30 moms in the last, I don't know how long, that cannot stand virtual learning. That's just on my Facebook that I see, and I hardly even go on it anymore because I'm trying to keep myself off of all of my crazy rage rants, okay? But don't wear masks. Get your school system, take it back, or boycott the shit out of it, because they're not learning anything anyway. Might as well just go to the park and play all day. They're going to get a lot better activity and maybe like a little bit of adrenaline and healthy things going through their blood just by having activity. All right. I didn't have a lot of prepared for this. It just kind of came on a whim from a friend of mine, Sarah. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. But hey, let's get out there. Let's do something different. Let's take our lives back. This is our world. This is our society. This is our life. We pay for it. We create it. We wake up and go to work every day for it. We raise our children. We bore them. It is up to us to create their lives. Stop letting people create it for you. All right. I hope you all have a great day. Appreciate and love you. Let's go.